It was Christmas time in London. There was a man named Ebenezer Scrooge. He was a hard-working man, but at the same time, he was miserable, greedy, cruel, and a stingy person who didn't know what generosity meant. A day before Christmas, both Scrooge and his clerk, Bob Cratchit, were working in the office. Scrooge, as usual, was busy counting his money, while Bob was counting the minutes to go home to his family.
I am so cold in this office. But Mr. Scrooge doesn't want to turn on the heater. According to him, it's a waste of money.
Suddenly, there was a knock at the front door, and Mr. Scrooge's nephew came inside.
Merry Christmas, Uncle!
Christmas? Bah! Christmas is only a lie.
You don't mean that, Uncle.
Of course, I mean that. Christmas is just an excuse not to work. Besides, what do you have to be so happy about? You are so poor.
Come on, Uncle. And what reason do you have to be sad? You're so rich.
Bah!
Come on, Uncle. Don't get angry.
Why wouldn't I? I live in a crazy world with fools. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas? What is even Christmas? It is just a time to pay bills with money you don't have, where you see yourself a year older and not a penny richer. A time where you buy gifts you can't even afford.
Come on, Uncle. Let's celebrate Christmas together.
Go! Celebrate Christmas your own way and let me celebrate it my way.
But, Uncle, I know there are some things I didn't do right. Some things I didn't take advantage of. And one of those things is Christmas. Christmas is the only time where people seem to get along just fine. It's a time of forgiveness, love and charity. It's a time where people open their hearts to one another. Maybe, Uncle, Christmas hasn't given me a gold or silver coin, but it does good to me. That's why I say, blessed be Christmas.
Wow! That was a wonderful speech. I wonder why you don't work for the government.
Come on, Uncle, don't get angry. Come to our house tomorrow. My wife and I are preparing a delicious dinner. And you will be our special guest.
Thanks, but no.
But why, Uncle?
No. By the way, why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because I fell in love. Because you fell in love? Have a nice day.
Come on, Uncle, you never came to my house before, and now you're using my marriage as an excuse? That's no fair.
Have a nice day.
Come on, Uncle, come on.
Have a nice day, a very happy new year, and goodbye.
Goodbye? I'm so sorry you have already taken a decision, Uncle, but I insist on celebrating Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, Uncle. And Bob, have a Merry Christmas.
A Merry Christmas to you too, friend.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Then Mr. Scrooge's nephew left the office.
How about that? A clerk who earns the minimal salary with a wife and kids, talking about Merry Christmas. Nonsense.
Mr. Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge. I have finished copying the letters and also filed the paperwork. I brought in some more firewood and also swept the ashes. And well, Mr. Scrooge, it's closing time.
Closing time, huh? Fine. If your work is finished, you can go now.
And one more thing, Mr. Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge, tomorrow is Christmas, a day to celebrate with family.
And you'd like the day off, I suppose?
Mr. Scrooge, after all, it's Christmas.
Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Fine, take off tomorrow, but be here early the next day.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. Have a Merry Christmas.
Humbug. Christmas, they say.
Scrooge opened the door and Cratchit went home. Then Scrooge returned to his desk to finish his accounts. After a few hours, Scrooge closed his account books and proceeded to close the office. Walking down the street, he met several people who wished him Merry Christmas.
Oh, look, he's Mr. Scrooge. Let us wish him Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge. He doesn't answer. What a man he is. But he turned cold-faced, saying, Oh, Mr. Scrooge, Merry Christmas.
I hate these people.
When he got home, he climbed the stairs to his bedroom, sat on the chair beside the fire, and started to eat his supper. Suddenly, he heard old bells ringing and a strange and loud noise coming from the outside.
Who's making that noise? I must have fallen asleep.
But the strange noise continued until he saw a ghost coming through the bedroom door.
I think I'm dreaming.
No, this is not a dream.
I know you. You are Malay. What do you want from me?
I want a lot from you. Do you see these chains? I am chained to my sins.
What's this? You were a hard worker and a good businessman.
Businessman? I took advantage of people while I was alive. I never learned the value of love and charity. Now I have to wander the earth because I'm unable to fight peace. Hear me, Scrooge! I'm here tonight to warn you. You still have the opportunity to change. And if you don't, the same fate awaits you. Listen, man, Scrooge! Three spirits will visit you. The first will arrive tomorrow when the clock strikes 1. The second on the next night at the stroke of same hour, and the third on the next night at the stroke of 12th hour. Then the ghost left the room, floating through the window. Scrooge closed the window and went to bed, shaking in fear, and fell asleep. Next day, when the clock struck 1, Scrooge saw a strange creature beside his bed.
Who are you?
I am the spirit of Christmas past. Get out of it and come with me. Come with me. Come on. Come on.
The ghost took Scrooge through time to a small town, which Scrooge started to remember. He then remembered the houses, the church, the rivers, the bridge, and the different landscapes.
They cannot see us or hear us. They are just the shadows of the past that have been.
Then they appeared to a house.
This house, it seems so familiar. Oh, this is my house. This is my house where I grew up.
Yes, it is. And do you recognize that little boy sitting over there all alone?
It's me, as a child. But why is he all alone?
You must know the answer.
Because my parents were always working. That is why I was always alone. That is why Christmas was so sad and lonely.
Come, take my hand. We don't have enough time.
No! Go away! Don't torture me!
Don't blame me. I told you, these were just the shadows of the past that have been.
Take me back!
We have one more stop. Our time is running out.
And they appeared in a garden. Scrooge was now a young man, beside a lovely young woman. The woman was crying.
I can't marry you, Ebenezer. There's something you love more than me. Nonsense. I love no other women. You love money more than me. There is no harm in loving money, my dear. We got engaged when we were poor. And we were happy being poor. I hope you are happy with the life you have chosen.
And the woman ran away from the garden. Old Scrooge and the ghost followed her. When she stopped, Scrooge could see that she was a few years older. Children laughed and played at her feet. A little girl threw her arms around the woman and gave her a kiss.
Look, she's happy with her children and husband.
Stop it! Take me home!
And Scrooge appeared in his own bedroom.
Thank goodness. It was just a dream.
Then the clock struck 1.
Ha ha ha! No, Ebenezer, it wasn't a dream.
I suppose you are the ghost of Christmas present.
Yes, I am. I am the ghost of Christmas present, and I have much to show you. Grab on to my robe. Hurry! We cannot be late. Hurry!
Scrooge touched the hem of the spirit's robe. The bedroom vanished, and Scrooge found himself on a busy, snowy street. There were many people shopping for last-minute gifts. The stores were still open. People were cooking their best meals. The bells of the church were striking. Everybody was attending church, wearing their best clothes. Everybody was happy.
Everybody looks so happy.
Yes, they are. It's Christmas. What did you expect?
Do you mean that they're all happy just because it's December 25th?
Yes, today they can forget their problems and just be with their families. They can enjoy the food kept on their tables and many blessings that they receive.
Then the ghost took Scrooge to Bob Cratchit's house. And standing there, the ghost proceeded to bless the house. Scrooge saw Bob Cratchit with his children, 3 girls and 1 boy.
Is this where he lives?
Of course, with his salary, this is all he can afford.
Then Mrs. Cratchit entered into the dining room, carrying a small turkey on the platter.
They look so poor. Their clothes, they are so old.
Love, my dear love, is all you can feel here.
Bob Cratchit helped the youngest boy from a chair in the corner and carried him to the table. The boy was pale and thin and carried a crutch.
What's wrong with him? Why doesn't he walk properly?
He is very sick. His name is Tiny Tim and his parents do not have enough money for a doctor. So maybe he'll die.
Die? But there must be something that can be done. Please tell me that he will live.
I see an empty chair in the corner. If the future does not change, he will certainly die.
No.
What do you care anyway? That will just diminish a part of world's population.
At that moment, Scrooge realized that those were his own words and felt sorry for himself. Then he heard his name.
Mr. Scrooge! Thanks to Mr. Scrooge that we are able to have this delicious dinner.
I wish I could see him to thank him personally.
Yes, dear, let's celebrate. After all, it's Christmas.
I know, darling. I hope he has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Let's have a toast for our Christmas and Mr. Scrooge. Merry Christmas. May God bless us all. May God bless us all.
Meanwhile, it was getting late. The ghost took Scrooge to different places so he could see how people celebrated Christmas. People who nevertheless were poor. As Scrooge used to say, they were happy and enjoyed being together with their families and friends. Suddenly, without a warning, they stood in a room.
I know that voice. It's my nephew. And he's having a party.
Ha ha ha! He said that Christmas was only a lie. He should be ashamed. I know, darling. He's very funny, but not a pleasant man.
But, my dear, you told me that he is very rich.
So what, darling? His wealth is useless. He doesn't do anything with his money. He didn't come to eat with us tonight because he's busy counting his money. He preferred to be angry at us than to have fun with us.
They don't like me.
They will not like you unless you change.
How? How can I change myself? Please tell me.
The room disappeared and they continued their journey. They visited many countries. They traveled to faraway lands. People, they visited the sick people who felt happy, poor people who felt rich, and shelters where people felt hope. Then the ghost of Christmas present was gone.
I'm in my own bed again.
As he sat up, another ghost floated into the room. He was dressed in black and a dark hood hid his face.
Who are you? First came the ghost of Christmas past. Then came the ghost of Christmas present. You You must be the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Are you here to show me the future and how it can change?
The ghost said nothing. He just gestured towards the door. 3 men stood out front, talking and shaking their hands.
I know them. I do business with them. We're friends. These men, they like me. But my own nephew does not like me. But what are they saying about me?
Poor old Scrooge.
I know. I feel sorry for him. They told me he's very sick.
Well, who is taking care of him?
No one. You know, he has always liked to be alone. He does not have friends either.
The ghost started walking and Scrooge followed him down the street. Then they arrived to a tiny house.
We've been here before. This is Cratchit's house.
The ghost took Scrooge into the room. There were Mr. Bob Cratchit sitting beside his son's chair. He was very sick.
Why is he crying? The last time we were here, they were all so happy.
Sitting on the chair was a little kid, but he was thinner and very pale. Then Mrs. Cratchit came into the room.
Darling, what are we going to do? Did you ask Mr. Scrooge for help?
Yes, but Mr. Scrooge will not help us. But I think his nephew Fred, he will surely help us.
I hope it's not too late. What will we do without a son?
Why? Tell me what's wrong with Tiny Tim. Is he going to die? What can I do to help him? Please, tell me.
The ghost did not answer. Then everything turned dark, and Scrooge found himself in a cold and foggy place.
Where are we? This is a cemetery. Why did you bring me here?
The ghost showed Scrooge a grave.
Before I get near this grave, answer me one thing. Is this the image of what it will be? Or the image of what it could be?
The ghost did not answer. Then Scrooge went to see the grave. Engraved on the headstone was the name Ebenezer Scrooge. Then Scrooge fell to his knees.
No, please listen to me. I have changed. Why do you show me all this? Please tell me that I can change everything. I will honor Christmas in my heart. I will live in the past, in the present, and in the future. I will never forget lessons that the ghosts have taught me. Please tell me that I can erase my name from that grave.
In his anguish, he took the ghost's hand, but the ghost rejected him. Then he woke up in his own bed.
Yes! Oh, thank you! I've been given another chance. I don't know what day is it, or how long I've been with the ghosts. God, I feel like a child, but I want to be a child again.
Then he heard the church bell striking. Then he saw a boy and shouted.
Oh, wonderful! Hey, you over there. Where is it?
he pulled out a bag of money and tossed a handful of coins to the boy.
There's a big juicy turkey at the butcher shop window at the end of the street. Buy it and deliver it to Mr. Cratchit's house.
But sir, this is a lot of money.
Keep the change. Hurry up. The Cratchits must be hungry.
Yes, sir. And Scrooge headed to Bob Cratchit's house. There was a knock at the door. The child opened the door and Mr. Scrooge walked inside. Mrs. Cratchit could not believe her eyes when she saw Mr. Scrooge standing in front of her.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, what a surprise! I want to thank you for the wonderful turkey.
It was a pleasure for me. Here, I've got you a gift. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge, it's such a pleasure to see you here.
Cratchit, you worked long hours without complaining for many years. I'm raising your salary and I will also help you support your family.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, you are so generous.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Scrooge did more than what he said he would do. He took care of Tiny Tim as a second father would do. Scrooge wanted to see his nephew and fulfill his request to dine with him. So he proceeded to his nephew's house.
Look, who's here? Uncle! I'm so surprised you have come to our house. Merry Christmas, Uncle. Welcome, Uncle Ebenezer.
I'm sorry, Fred. I've been very rude to you. But now I have realized the importance of family.
I'm so glad you've changed, Uncle.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Merry Christmas, my dear.
Thank you, Uncle. I wish the same to you. On this Christmas, let us forget the past and have a new beginning. Come, Uncle, join us.
Some people laughed to see how he changed, but he didn't care. Scrooge never saw the ghosts again, but he had many friends and was always close to his family. Each time he had a meal with his friends and family and would say,
Come, Fred. Come, Bob. God bless us. God bless us all. Everyone. Merry Christmas!
The Holy Bible says in Romans chapter 12 verse 10, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in one another. The Holy Bible clearly states the true meaning of Christmas. The birth of Jesus Christ into this sinful world reminds all mankind that there are more important things in life than acquiring material wealth. The reality is, the happiness one gets from helping the helpless, the poor and underprivileged is incomparable. But like Scrooge, we also tend to deliberately ignore the true values of Christmas and run after worldly pleasures. This one festival inspires us to be caring, to spread joy and love each other as our beloved Lord Jesus Christ taught us. This play reminds us of Jesus, who accepts everyone the way he or she is, the way we should also accept everyone around us with all the flaws one may possess, Christmas has a special meaning for all of us. That is, to be flexible enough to bend our egos, to reach out to the unreached, to the poor and the dying, to the needy and the destitute, and most importantly, to follow the footsteps of the perfect Lamb of God who motivates us to do the same. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
A little child, a shining star, a stable rude, the door ajar. Yet in that place, so crude, so forlorn, the hope of all the world was born. A Christmas nativity is one of the most recognizable symbols of Christmas season. The word nativity means arisen by birth. Nativity is a live demonstration depicting the night of Jesus' birth. We now have the students presenting before you the nativity story through a lyrical dance drama.
Christmas is the season not only for rejoicing but for reflection, a time to reshape souls and elevate our inner selves through achieving spiritual goals. It gives us immense pleasure to have amidst us His Lordship, Right Reverend Bishop Francis Callist, Bishop of Meerut Diocese. Could we hear it for him? He is well known as a pastor of the people of God and a community builder. Throughout his missionary life, his Lordship has been noted for his humility, his emphasis on God's mercy, and his concern for the poor. It gives me immense pleasure to have him on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, His Lordship, Right Reverend Bishop Francis Callist, for all of us. We seek his blessings through his Christmas message.
Dear friends, first of all, I would like to congratulate for the program, especially the principal, the staff, and the students. It's indeed a wonderful program, and that Christmas play was really a classical one, and is done with such perfection that really takes us back to the originality of that play written by Charles Dickens. Well presented, well acted, and the message is very clear through that play. And then after that, we had the Christmas dance presentation. That also something very new and innovative and creative. Very well done. And the play has given the message, if you had noticed, that Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge finally says, "Now I know the importance of the family." In fact, the feast of Christmas is the feast of family. Pope Francis, he has done one wonderful thing this year, and that is about the Christmas. He has given a new, somewhat an exhortation, or his writing, that is admirabile signum is the Latin word, the admirable sign. And then he narrates in that about his experience. You know what he did this year for the Christmas 2019, when we began the preparation for Christmas, that we call it the season of Advent. It's a 4 weeks preparation before Christmas. And the first week of Advent, he went to Greccio, where the first crib was made by none other than Saint Francis of Assisi. It was when Saint Francis of Assisi met the Pope in the Vatican, Pope Honorius III, to get the permission of the Pope for his congregation to live the life according to the gospel, to live a life of simplicity, to live a life of poverty, and to live a life of compassion and charity. After getting the permission, he returns. While returning, he was passing through those caves, Gratio. There he began to feel that this is the place, just like the caves, that Jesus must have been born. And so in 1223, St. Francis of Assisi makes the first alive crib. He got a person named John to prepare with hay and all that thing, the place, the cave. And then on the Christmas night, he gathered the people and they celebrated the first Christmas crib, which we now make in every churches, in every houses. So that's how the Christmas celebration, by making a crib, it all began. So it is a family of, it's a feast of the family. Looking at that cave, Pope Francis reflects on the various aspects of the Christmas celebration. Today, unfortunately, the meanings are lost. People think it is the feast of Santa Claus. Santa Claus is no one there. Santa Claus is an old Saint Nicholas, who was a very charitable saint, and his name became Santa Claus. And so Pope Francis says, you go to the crib, look at, what do you see there? In all simplicity, you see a family. And in today's situation, families are getting distorted. Families are perishing. The family values are being lost. Today, marriages are broken. Today we have more broken families. Divorce is on the increase. The sanctity of family is being lost. And it is at that time Pope Francis is calling us on this Christmas of 2019 to focus on the family. Mary, Joseph, and the babe Jesus in the manger. Joseph gave up his plan of his life for the sake of the mother and the child. Mary gave up her plan of life for the baby Jesus. Baby Jesus, that's God who gave up his divinity to come down and to become as one among us, a man like us in everything except sin. There we find a perfect family living for each other, sacrificing themselves for each other. Today that is what is required in our modern society. Today when family is being disintegrated, marriages are broken, marriage means nothing. In today's society, what do we see? There are many, that's what the Pope Francis today calls it, an ideological colonization has taken the world. Ideological colonization. And that means there is a kind of an ideology, no more marriage is needed. There are many in the developed societies don't want to marry anymore, want to be single, want to be free, want to enjoy life. They are the selfish people, don't want to give themselves. They cannot be called human beings. So these are the ideologies put into the mind of people today. Then there are families, after marriage, don't want to have children. Children becomes a burden. Children are a kind of an obstacle to our personal experience or life. So many don't want children. Many limit children. All these things take away the sanctity of a family. And also now the same-sex marriages, homosexual marriages, two men living as husband and wife, two women living as husband and wife, so unnatural, the family is distorted. Pope Francis is speaking for this Christmas 2019 to focus on the family, to live for each other. Then he says, the Christmas is not just the commemoration of the birth of Jesus. That has taken place. Why we have to be bothered about it? So Pope Francis today says, the Christmas is you. The child Jesus was born 2000 years ago in Bethlehem. It's historical. And today the Christmas that we celebrate is a commemoration. But it will become reality when you become Christmas today. You know the meaning of Christmas? Christ Mass. Christ Christos. That word says anointed. Christ means anointed. So every person, when he is really possessed by the divine, we call it filled by the Spirit, that's what Mary was, they become anointed. So you have to be a Christmas. So I have to become a Christmas means I must become like the babe Jesus. That is my true identity. I am the image and likeness of God. I must become divine. I must imbibe the qualities of divine. Living for others, giving, sacrifice, compassion, dying for the other. This is the values of Christmas. And so, Pope is telling that, so you have to become the Christmas. The star, he says, the star is you. You have to become a star for the others who are living in the darkness through your better life. So the star, that is you. So this is what the Pope is asking for us to celebrate the Christmas with its real meaning, so that we get a personal transformation. Mr. Scrooge, in that play, he went through a personal conversion. Then he experiences the importance of family. And that's the real meaning of Christmas. And today, in the present day situation, I would like to present before you what was this time of Jesus. When I look at the situation in India today, I find exactly the situation of Jesus when he was born in Bethlehem is being repeated here in India today. And how is that? I would like to tell you. Jesus was born with questionable identities of citizenship. Questionable identities of citizenship. Place of origin. And even parenthood. So his citizenship was questioned. His place of origin was questioned. His parenthood was questioned. That was Jesus. In fact, he was born in a makeshift manger while his parents were struggling to get themselves registered according to the newly introduced and unquestioned Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA. Unquestioned Citizenship Amendment Act of Caesar Augustus. Was he from Nazareth? Today we ask, no? Where are you from? Which is your country? Which nation you belong to? Which state you belong to? Where is your identity? Same thing. Was he from Nazareth? Was he from Bethlehem? From nowhere? From anywhere? Of insignificant location. Questions were raised about who his parents were. In fact, Jesus belongs to those without identities of citizenship, place of origin, and even parents. Jesus belongs to those on the peripheries, struggling on the borders of nation, states for entry. Those struggling to get some sort of recognition within the nation, states, and civil societies. Jesus belongs to those born of dubious parents. How do we want to celebrate Christmas 2019? With whom do we want to celebrate? Perhaps we have no time to be with seekers of identities. Perhaps we are sure of our identities. I as a bishop, priest, religious, managers, principals, doctors, engineers, lawyers, we have some identity. We have no time to be with seekers of identities because we have to celebrate Christmas. That's the contradiction we are in. And so, let us realize what's the real meaning of Christmas. It's ultimately a personal transformation. I must change. Today all these troubles, burnings, damages, lives are lost, is again because the personal conversion is lacking. Pride has taken ahead. And we need to humble down, understand the people, be one with them, and then try to lift them up. God became man so that he could make man into a divine being. The incarnational approach is the only answer to today's problems. Are we leaders ready to bow down, stoop down to the state where our people are and be one with them, then lift them up? That's what Jesus did. On this joyous occasion, Christmas is a feast of mankind. Everyone celebrates. It's a beautiful festivity and we are entering into it. And so I take this wonderful opportunity to wish you all a very, very happy Christmas and a grace-filled New Year 2020. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Your Lordship, for your inspiring Christmas message. I now invite on stage Mrs. Nivedita Sharma to propose the vote of thanks.
To have got this opportunity is in itself the mother of all moments opportune. To have held the microphone to enthrall you all is in itself an order so tall. For there is a saying, God has two dwellings, one in heaven and the other in a thankful heart. Just thank you is a mightiful prayer that says it all. Good evening to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this memorable occasion on behalf of the principal, staff and students of Sophia Girls' School, Meerut. At the onset, we extend our profound gratitude to Lord Almighty for bringing us together as one family to celebrate His birth with joy and happiness in our hearts. Let me now pave such solid ground to thank profusely the galaxies of eminence who, by being amongst us, added to our jubilation, instilled in us the semblance of sacred striving, which go a long way in the annals of history of this elite institution that strives for educational and pedagogical glory. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Reverend Bishop, fathers, brothers and sisters for their benevolent presence in the celebrations today. Our profound thanks to Reverend Bishop Francis Callis for his Christmas message that has awakened our hearts and souls to prepare ourselves to receive Jesus
as He is ready to dwell in us. An appreciative thank you to the galaxy of dignitaries and officials who have taken out time from their hectic schedules to be with us today. We are indeed honored, dear sirs. A very dear thank you to the eminent educationists who support all educational newness in various campuses and encourage students to walk further with a smile. Our grateful acknowledgement to our ancient teaching staff for their dedicated years of devotion and solidarity to this institution. And indeed, we gratefully acknowledge the efforts of our very dynamic delegates of the press and the electronic media who highlight our goals of empowering the girl child and taking education to greater heights, thereon bringing Sophia to the fore. Life is fortified by many friendships. To love and to be loved is the greatest happiness of existence. Heartfelt thanks to you, our dear extended family, for your cooperation and unconditional support at all times. Gratitude now extends to our principal, Reverend Sister Gail, whose ever-inspiring presence and encouraging ways propel each one of us to excel. Our sincere thanks to all non-teaching staff who are always ready to help by doing selfless service with great smile. May peace be your gift at this Christmas and your blessings all year through. May this Christmas be the first of many, each more joyous in our growing love, revealing more of happiness than any riches may provide. To end, may the bells of Christmas ring, a song that never ends. May the joyous sounds they make bring peace to all our friends. May the lights of Christmas bring an everlasting glow. May the love that fills our hearts bring warmth to all we know. May love, joy, and peace be yours, now and forevermore. Wishing each one of you a Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year. Thank you.
On behalf of the entire Sophian community, a big thank you once again for your gracious presence on this blessed evening. A very humble request to each one of you to proceed to the Sophian ground for a hot cup of Christmas tea. Thank you, and thank you ever so much. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.